And welcome back to the CappingTV Summer Brawl 2022, this time with off classes. My name is Just Jazz. Joining me again is Lugnuts, and we have another game for you guys. So we were going to go see the Power Tools versus Ascension game, but they started already. So we're going to be watching our good friends in Homer again, but this time we're going to be watching them take on Freakshow, which looking at these two rosters, I feel like this game is going to be really neck and neck, and we'll run through that right now. On Freakshow, we have Down and Doc on Scouts, Thane and Connor on Roamer and Pocket Soldier, respectively, Daz on Demo, and Miramu on Medic. And although we did just see Homer play, we're going to run down the rosters, what we think the rosters are, because it's different than what we have on our spreadsheet. Run down them, Lugnuts.
Well, the spreadsheet roster is Zeus and Tachyon on Scout. We know Tachyon's playing Soldier. It says Raylan and Yachty on Soldiers, but Raylan's not here, I think, so it's Yachty and someone who I'm not too sure who they are. We have Matt still on Demoman and Camille still on Medic.
So, like I said, we were going to go to one game, but they were just a little bit too eager today. So they were in the thick of it, and that was 2-0 for Ascension over Power Tools. And Metalworks, which is the map we're going to, by the way, is a map that can really slow down and be difficult to push through various points. So just knowing the players on Ascension, I suspect that result is going to hold, although the score might change a little bit. But we're not thinking about Ascension. We're thinking about Homer versus Freakshow, and a lot of these players that I'm seeing on both teams have been around, high prem, mid prem, low prem for many seasons now. So I think this is going to be a really fun game on Metalworks, a map that for a while really didn't seem to get a whole lot of play time in Australia, Lugnuts, but it seems like it's sort of come back into rotation and back into favor. What are your initial impressions of Metalworks as a map?
I hate Metalworks, nothing else to be said. Metalworks is definitely probably one of the least played maps. I mean, it's getting played a lot more recently, but you're not going to see it played in pugs. You're not going to see it played a lot in scrims. Most teams honestly have no clue what they're doing on this map. Of course, a lot of these players are extremely experienced and definitely will know what they're doing because they've just, even though they haven't played it as much as other maps, they've been around the scene for so long that they'll have played this game a million times anyway on this map. So, yeah.
Well, we've already gone live to this first mid of the match, so let's take it away. So both demos arriving roughly around about the same time, and a classic Metalworks mid. It takes a little bit for the fight to really initiate. Big bomb coming in to Valley right on Camille, 50 health. Does she survive? She does, and they've actually picked up 2 in response. So it's a 5v4 at the moment, and Freakshow, they've really got to be careful now. It's a 3v5, 3v4. I don't know what it is, but they've managed to escape with their med. Yeah, Metalworks is a very it's a map that's really well enjoyed here in North America. I don't know why. It's not a map that I particularly enjoy, but it has a very interesting play style at times. And good teams will know how to exploit any other weaknesses that other teams have. But on the match right here, Freakshow looks like they just want to back out. They lost the mid fight. They've managed to keep hold of their meds, so that is going to be an even Uber situation that they get to play around with. But they've got to be careful and ensure that they hold up this last push. But they do have an engineer up, which certainly would help. Lugnuts, I know you're a big engineer fan. But tell us what you, in your experience playing Metalworks, how would you break this hold? Because this is one of the more difficult lasts and lobbies to both take control of and push in through.
So the first step is to spam out the sentry gun. You can actually go far left here with just 2 soldiers, or even just 1 soldier really, if you can survive the spam, and spam out the sentry gun pretty simply. And then you can just go, yeah, I'd go for a left push here actually, because especially when you see the Demo Man holding over sort of that other area, or if you're on the blue team, he's holding over to the left, yeah. So push through the right, no real stickies presence there, good spam angles, and a good chance to get quite a lot of players in. Unfortunately, they kind of flub that, lose 2 players there, get pushed back to second. Very good situation for freakshow to get something done there, but unfortunately they lose Fane in the sack, don't really get anything for it, and are pushed just all the way back to last. So this is the problem, when you lose the mid, sent back to last, and there's very few opportunities to get off it. Metalworks is a little bit of an easier map to push out of, but the area between last and second is massive and myriad, and really it's just a massive maze, and so many players can sort of leak into that, spam into that, and do so many things to mess up your push from last.
Yeah, I think it's one of those maps where it seems like a lot of big stack coming in, by the way. Do they get anything? No, it's just mincemeat immediately. But I was going to say, some of these maps in the game nowadays is, there's not so much... Well, I like to think of Granary when I think of these things, right? Where Granary, the flank, and the combo are really 2 distinct units that sometimes have some interaction with each other, but otherwise they really have to be solid units when not in working in tandem. Big sniper, by the way.
Yikes!
Jeez,
that's gonna turn things
Camille,
around.
one shot, 1 drop, and that's gonna be. I mean, that's your calling card to push. They do have to be careful here, though, because one of the problems, as you were alluding to with Metalworks, is it is such a large map. And by the way, just a good trap by Matt, classic trap. But because the map is so large and you do have to cover so much space, I always feel like there are some advantages that you can get for your team that aren't really as pushable, just because of the size of distance that you have to cover in transition. But they've got full Uber advantage. There is a sniper in play, and he looks like he's going to be sort of holding on top of Shack near Valley, rotated down into House. And they're just trying to sneak their way in, just pressure them out with the threat of the Uber. Although they haven't taken care of the sniper, they do have to be careful too, because Miramu is quite weak. Sub 50 health, or sub 90 health, although they've regened well enough now. And they've taken mid, so they've taken mid, they've gotten themselves out of last, they've gotten themselves a forward for their soldier as well. So now with even Ubers, this is where the flaws of Metalworks as a map, in my opinion, start to come into play. Is just, again, how 6s can be very stalematy at times, but I think Metalworks is one of the maps that really really slows to a crawl at times.
It's just so much, because the problem is that, unlike even a situation where, let's say, Granary has a lot of space between mid and second, with Yard in between, it's like a whole nother point to push. But it's a pretty wide open area with a lot of chances for plays through it, you know? In Metalworks, you're holding, between mid and second, you're holding on the point, because all the area between is a kind of mess of places that just can't really be played in as well. Credit to freakshow, though. They do manage to get their players in, get a force there, giving them a bit of a better Uber. I think they got forced in return. Going to give them the ability to take position and start taking the second point. Set them up decently well for the last. You know, a little bit of munch ad on the side of Homer. Nothing they can really play off, though. Probably going to have to go for the off classes. And we'll see how freakshow managed to hold the same stalemate second to last position, and if the sniper that they just have up is going to repeat his success from before.
I mean, well, even getting from your last to their last is certainly a market improvement. Like, I know a position I'd rather be in, certainly. So it's been a really good start to the game for freakshow. And now we'll see if they can make this last push happen. My game crashed like while we were talking, by the way, so I was just like, I hope nothing fun actually happens.
You got
there
just in time for the stalemate. Engineer is setting up in a pretty good spot, actually, you know. Much better than the previous ones, you know. I just have to look at the sentry spots here. That's actually a pick through onto the sniper, so a little bit of the pressure being relieved for Homo, gonna give them a chance to poke out a little bit. They still have their engineer on last, however, so you know their poking potential is pretty well reduced. And see, this is the thing: you can hold so close to pushing from the second, right, in this sort of in-between transitional area, and then as soon as you lose a player, you know, don't get the sniper or something, you just pull all the way back to second, and you basically have no risk to you at all. I hate Metalworks, honestly.
You're not a Metalworks fan?
No, I'm not a Metalworks fan.
It's like a shittier Granary. Pardon my French.
Honestly, give me Badlands any day. Give me Granary any day.
Unironically. Well, it's one of those things, too, where it's like, you know, I'm not gonna to spend all my time talking bad about some guy who made a map, right? Because they did it. By the way, they're pushing in full Uber advantage, and they finally used. It's two up for Homer. It doesn't even matter. First point going for the boys in blue.
Man, I'm just sitting there spectating, and I see Camille just chilling, hanging around. Suddenly, two soldiers right there. No space to maneuver. Rockets coming out. I'm pretty sure I've seen that video before. Did not end well. And that just crumbled the defense for Homer.
Well, take us through this next mid, Lugnuts, because my game keeps on having issues.
Alright. Well, early position being taken from Freakshow here. A lot of big soldier plays. Returning in from Tachyon and I think Yachty. Matt and I think that is Yachty and Camille have gone down. Pandemic got Fane in return, but that's what the Roam is supposed to do. So, you know, really good position for Freakshow. A lot of space on the point, a lot of players around to defend, and really just two players hanging around pulling out for Homer. Looking pretty disastrous for them. Last time they won the mid, was able to take quite a lot of space from it. Didn't quite convert the round. This time they haven't even won the mid. Not just that, their medic has died as well, so we're going to have a huge Uber advantage for Freakshow. Honestly, they're going to have to run some kind of interference, do some crazy play to strip that out of them, because with how Freakshow's been playing, it's looking almost guaranteed for them. There we go, soldiers come in, killed the scout, got close, didn't quite get the medic though.
Oh, sorry, we got a Fane fanboy in the chat, by the way. Fane supremacy, go is what he says.
He's absolutely right, you know.
Fane supremacy is real.
Yes, sir. The Uber has come in now from Freakshow onto the last. Big position being taken, pretty far away from point though, actually. Heavy has come out, holding them all off. The Uber's faded. This is such a good position for Homer. Uber has already been built for them. It's 100%. This is just a very solid defense. Both soldiers went down. No Fane, no win. That's the rule of the game. Freakshow's been forced to pull all the way out to last, getting ready to force as Homer pushes in. But really, they're just going to have to make sure they keep their medics safe here, otherwise they could lose a lot more ground than just 1 point.
My game's not crashed though, by the way. I'm still. I had to put something in different folders, you know.
There you go, easy as. So, what do you expect the situation going to be here for Homer? Because they look like they're going super aggressively. Are they actually pushing?
It looks like it. They've certainly taken the space. They're just trying to use this one-player advantage, even though they're down a scout, and try to get in as far as they can. But it looks like the Ubers have been exchanged, and it's just, this is not good. Now I'm no Sixes expert, but when you have everybody die, pushing out a second, it's not good.
I don't think so. I think typically when you do a one-player advantage push, you should actually try to have one-player advantage. Freakshow just come in all over the point, very easy after that full wipe, and that's another round on the board for them.
Another clean round, yeah. So this is, I thought it was going to be closer than this. This is why we picked this map, this match. But it's been very, very convincing from Freakshow very early on in this game. Now, you know, it's only 2 rounds in 10 minutes, so plenty of time to turn around. But the guys on Homer, they've got to start making these fights work for them and not just have everybody wipe.
Yeah, I mean, not doing too well at the moment. The players have taken a couple of rockets. Not too good in taking position. They've got their soldiers absolutely demolished at the moment. Yeah, the players on Freakshow are just taking absolute control of this mid, consolidating, picking up their players. Unfortunately, they don't manage to pick up the medic, so that is going to be a chance for Homer here. Holding second, players down, medic alive, so even Ubers. See how they manage to do it given the face of Freakshow's push. Which gets a force.
Nice. A good on from them, but they've still got to...
He's in deep analysis mode here, you know?
Yeah. Well, my binds are all messed up, so right. I don't know what I've done to my game, but this is not my proudest moment. Certainly not.
you can start to feel a little bit of what Homer might be feeling here. As freakshow now has another full Uber after that force, and just slowly walking this in, just getting the players there, playing defensively. They've killed one soldier, tried to sack, Tachyon going down, and just easily taking the second point without having to use the Uber. It looks like they're getting super aggressive with this, though. They want to use the Uber advantage, already gone into the last. Sentry Gun in a very good position, gets a huge juggle, finally gets taken down. A lot of spam going on in the defenders who are holding back. Scout gets so much time on point. That's a lot of cap time here. There's got to be some super good defensive players. Both soldiers playing around the point, not quite able to get it, though. And the Demo and Soldier clean it up. 3-0 now for freakshow. Very close game.
Well, we'll see if my my game wants to work. Nope, still doesn't want to work. So we're just gonna. I don't know. Bad luck, Mitch. Anyways. So yeah, 3-0. 15 minutes left to play. 14, 16, who knows?
16 minutes.
16. And here we go. So fourth mid of the map. This is what Metalworks mids are so weird for me, man. I'm not sure what to make of them. First bomb's really coming out, not really getting a whole lot here. And Fane down, 3 health, he's dead. He trades for this guy with the Korean text.
No Fane, no win. That's the fact.
That's a fact, and it's such a fact that I mean it's now down 4, and it's just Miramu who's get caught out, and Dragon Dagger poisoned twice, going down 2. So that's a full wipe. Which is, if you're Homer, like that's what you've needed, man. You've needed something to get yourself back in the game, get yourself a little bit of confidence, and hopefully get a round on the board for them. With, like I said, 15 minutes left to play, you've really got to make these pushes work for you, man.
Yep, that's what to do. Just whatever you did there when you end up wiping the team, do it again. It started with killing Fane, which is usually a pretty good space to be in. Of course, killing Fane is not the easiest thing in the world. In fact, it's one of the hardest things to do in TF2. The man is slippery and talented, a very dangerous combination. So far, 2 off classes up for freakshow, Pyro and the Sentry. Looks like the Pyro's just there to protect the Sentry while it's being formed. Uber has come in, position on point by a Scout. He has been spammed out and killed by actually another Scout, not Fane. He defended the point. Heavy is out as well. This Homer team has been demolished. Not a single kill on the side of Homer onto freakshow. And the meta ties as well to the advanced soldier. I mean, that just went about as bad as it could possibly go. They didn't wipe, but the second worst thing happened. Now we have such a massive Uber advantage, and second being capped by freakshow. I mean, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, it just gets bad for worse for Homer here, which is, I mean, the first game they played so well, so decisively, and now here on Metalworks, it just seems nothing really seems to be going in their favor. What do you think is making the difference here on the night, Lugnuts?
I mean, the easiest answer is just Fane talent. I mean, one team has Fane, one team doesn't. No Fane, no win. This applies to all teams in the league. But I think just really the positioning from freakshow here has been really fantastic, honestly. They've been getting on top of all the good positions and just squeezing the heck out of Homer whenever they're getting into these fights. So Homer's players are actually doing pretty damn well against adversity, but, just they're being forced in some really weird positions to take these fights into that are just really not conclusive to actually winning. It's like one person playing on the ground of the Badlands Spire and the other person playing right at the top. Right,
yeah. I mean, well, as you say that, freakshow picking up the 4th round of the night for them here on Metalworks. 4-0, 13 minutes left to play, and it looked so good for a half second. It looked like Homer might have found their way back into the game, but you blink it, you miss it. And freakshow up 4-0, and this could be the final round of the match. This mid-fight, no frags as of yet, a little bit of slow, patient play. Camille down weak, so's Tachyon and the Scout, but they've managed to bully all of the blue team into this valley area, which is a dangerous place to be, and they haven't managed to find the frags to make it worth it yet. And Homer, they just lose Tachyon and the other soldier, and are content to keep on walking forward too, scaring them all the way out of valley. They don't want to give them a single lick of space here on Metalworks second.
See, a lucky roller from Matt actually killed Fane just at the last second there. which was really good for them because they were prepared to make some dangerous plays. So that's allowed Freakshow to be pushed back to second. Big position from Homer, looking to push the sort of angle here. I have no idea what this is called, honestly. This sort of flank area here. A lot of players stacked in that, though. Unfortunately, they've just lost the scout over the other side. It's just not really going well for them, is it?
Yeah, not really. Oh, it's one of those things. That was sort of the problem with the last match, just for Goblins instead of Homer, where every time they'd have some sort of push or they're looking to get advantage, there'd just be one player who goes down, and that really flubs the scheme for the rest of the team. And it just really seems like here it's again there's just you know, whenever they're looking to go in, they just can't find that frag to make this play work. So big bomb in from the soldier. Does he get the force? No, but they get actually they lose 2 of their soldiers. So and that's gonna spell. I mean, that's what you have to do here on Metalworks too, is take these double sacks and try to get what you can in through Valley. But Swagadon Jonathan Beatsup, or whatever the heck that name is just another unfortunate casualty in this failed push, and it's just they just got to keep on backing here.
Yep.
Fane trying to bomb it a second, but no, he gets denied.
Dangerous situation. He's gone in again onto Camille.
Big bomb by
Get some
Fane.
huge rockets in the drop. Oh no!
Dude, that
Daz
link-up
getting
play.
a sticky just at the last second. Yikes!
Yeah, that was some good
Luckily
link-up play. Hold on, sorry. Fane got 2 rockets off, and then the demo just in the exact right place, right where he needed to be to get the sticky damage to follow. Normally, it's the demo man who does the big damage, and then the roamer follows up, but not today. That's the power of Fane here, man.
Exactly. You know, Fane Master Race all the way, honestly. It's the only way to play this game. If you're not watching Fane VODs and just emulating what he does, what are you even doing, honestly? Probably losing, that's what it is. But very luckily for Homer, they did manage to get the force, so no massive uber disadvantage. You know, not quite Munchad. It's a bit bigger than that for Freak Show. Probably not going to use it off there. I mean, you're 4 rounds up, 10 minutes left. You don't have to go stupidly aggressively. Looks like they kind of want to do something, though. 97%, 99%. Nah, they're just going to wait it out. Get some spam. No, just as I say that, they bomb in. Demo Man on the Heavy. Daz getting down so low. Heavy's still alive. They're getting so much pressure on the point, though. Camille finally pops the Uber out for Homer, and they're doing a lot to defend this. All the players are actually surviving from the side of Freak Show, though. That's going to give them a really good position to sit here, build Uber back up, and re-push when they finally get it.
And the cheeky little play right there from the scout, trying to get some cap time, just ruined by the demo man being on the right place on the point at the right time. But even then, they've got a few players that they could look to push with, and actually Miramu picking up Tachyon too. So that's going to be, you know, just could be another frag to go their way. And it looks like they want to take this in right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're poking it for sure. I don't know if they're willing to fully commit to this because they do have Uber advantage. So, you know, they're sending players in. Looks like they're allowing themselves to be a bit sloppy here. Homer's not really taking this opportunity too well. They are pushing out a bit here, but maybe they're getting baited into the Uber push because right now there is still full Uber advantage. And yes, that's exactly what happened. The scout is in on the medic. Camille's so low. Does manage to get out of this. Matt on 6 HP.
Ooh.
No. They luck out of that one with full Uber advantage.
He just needed someone to sneeze on him, and that would have been game, set, and match. And now the Uber's coming back out. Camille's used. They're chasing them in Valley. They haven't really picked up anything from this Valley push. Math Guy and Fane are both dead though, so you know maybe what they've bought is just enough time to get off of last onto second, and they picked up a scout quite late on into that push too. So that could be the go-ahead frag to continue this push on into mid.
There is a sniper out on the side of Freak Show, so they've got to watch out for that one. Getting some good spam on him, restricting his angles though. Camille goes down to a headshot, and the momentum Homer had has just been demolished. Freak Show now has all the time in the world to sit here, get their Uber charge, and do whatever they want to do. But their medic is so low. Actually goes down to Tachyon's huge bomb. That's so good for them.
Died with 99% Uber too.
That's
And
actually
that's
a really
it.
good position for Homer now. They've turned a miracle into from a disaster into a miracle. Matt's already capping the second point. If they get their players up, sorry, I misread the colours for a moment. I almost thought that scout was just about to clean Matt up, but no, looking pretty good for them. Looks like Homer finally has their opportunity to push last. No Uber advantage yet, but 7 minutes left. They can definitely make something happen.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, it's one of those things where they've got to make this happen very quickly. It's sort of the situation that the last team had found themselves in, where it's like, you've got so many rounds that you have to make up with 7 minutes left to play. You essentially have to bring together perfect last pushes in quick succession, and if this was Freak Show pushing last, I'd be like, oh yeah, no issues, no dramas whatsoever. But this is this isn't. This is a different player. So it's so we'll see just what comes of this push.
Yep. How do you push last without fade? That's the question. Well, Homer's going to try to show us how it's done. A little bit under 7 minutes of the clock. They have to do something pretty quickly. They're going to need to try to pull some advantage out of things. Focus on spamming down the sentry would probably be good. It's in a pretty vulnerable position at the moment. Their attempt, though, is to cause Pandemic to die. So pretty good position for Freak Show at the moment. They've managed to hold off the push for a little while longer, and every second that ticks off the clock is just in Freak Show's favor here.
Yeah, and it is kind of, if that's how they're going to try and close the game out, it might not be the most exciting way in the world, but also it's like, for them, I suppose the focus is on the dub, because there is that $500 prize pool for the Prem division that they definitely are going to want to look and get, and so and they've picked up 3 in lobby too. Matt going down quick. As well, followed quickly by Tachyon and the Scout.
Matt went down to a sniper.
Yeah.
That was disastrous.
It's just another opportunity to push, but it looks like they're happy to... Yeah, they just play it slow. They've got a sniper up in play at the moment, so... let's slow it down a little bit. A cheeky little 7 comment in the chat. But, see, the difference is a 7 would have gone up 1-0. And then we'd be doing this for 30 minutes. They've gone up 4-0, so,
It's just trying to goad them to push out last, but Freak Show don't care, 5 minutes left. They can sit here for another 5 minutes easily as...
Both chilling and vibing at the same time,
Chibin? Or is it villain?
That much I don't know. But they've used in anyway. No other choice. They've got to get this gun down. This gun survived for quite a long time. And they finally get it down, but the post-Uber health is not there. Everybody is more or less sub 50, except...
Yeah, that's all good. Everything's good, I think.
Take this space. The Uber comes in, the Uber leaves, and like, hey, we're just going to use in. The Uber does come out. The jump comes in from the demo man, trying to get Camille, who's in that little shack, whatever that area is called, and now they just got to get Pandemic out of their face. And he's running, and Matt's committed in too, and they do pick up the demo men, but everybody else is pretty well alive. So
now this is your big issue, because you use the Uber to only kill the sentry gun. You've been put in a bad spot. Taking up a sniper, goes down anyway. Freak Show now has the momentum again. It's less than 4 minutes, and there's 4 rounds down for Homer. So I'm not too sure about the stats of the TF2 Olympics, but I'm not too certain that this is physically possible at this stage.
I think the best you could hope for if you are on Homer is to get 1 round, and hope it counts towards the final rankings later on in the tournament. This push through Valley does not go their way. The demo going down early, and then Fane getting cleaned up on the flank too. So that's 2 picks to try to push and pressure with, which looks like what they're doing, coming through the Valley flank area. But this defensive posture and the use afterwards, it could be too much. The Uber's finally fading, and it's it looks like Freakshow are just happy to give up second. There might be re-pushing from under through house. And they've entered into mid, playing close and hugging that valley area. They've got the first frag on the scout. They picked up Camille too, Fane with a massive bomb, and it's just Tachyon alive, and he's going to be cleaned up in probably short succession.
No, he gets out.
Does he? He still got the soldier chasing, and the soldier
he goes down.
He gets his man in the end. So
Freakshow clearly not happy to give up anything. They just want it. They're going in for it.
Yeah,
like,
we
they smell
want that
the
5-0.
Mercy will win. Yeah. Because heaven forbid we show a match that's not a roll on stream,
Correct. I mean, if it was a roll, we'd be done. I think.
Yeah, true.
Losing
5-0
in call it 28 minutes isn't terrible, but it's not good. But
it's a further step towards the 500 than losing 5-0 in 10 minutes. So.
This is true. And so the Uber does come in. They got Tachyon early on after dropping their scout from a cheeky trap. And now just a little bit of cap time here and there. Brought 2 players on the point. They've just got to clean these guys up.
Here's Fane,
put some rockets down, and there we go. 5-0. Going towards Freakshow.
Pretty good show from Homer. They lasted quite a while against them, but I mean, just the demoralizing aspect of not having Fane on your team is already a big negative step for you. So it's not too much they can do on top of that.
I couldn't imagine not having Fane on my team, right? That would be like the end all be all, 5-0, right? Hey guys, cracked and goated. It's honestly a shame he's only got 1 first place medal, but
yep,
you live and you learn.
Absolutely shocking. The hero says 1 ping.
Let's look at some logs on the screen. Let me find out where the logs are.
I just wait for Mitch to put them on stream and then watch it with the rest of the.
Oh, well, there we go. There we go. Well, I can tell you first things that I'm seeing. Miramu versus Camille death count. 3 deaths for Miramu.
Yeah.
12, literal 4 times more.
Oh no. That's it's a shame.
That's tragic. That I mean, I've been on the receiving end of that. So that's rough. I mean, I don't think it was. I don't think Goblin played particularly poorly. I think that
Homer or Goblin?
Homer. Sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
It's late. It's like 1:30 in the morning here. I did sign up for this voluntarily though, so I suppose it's my own fault. But whatever.
Well, that's what you say. But how many kidneys does Mitch have now?
Well, I had 2 starting out. Less than that now. I don't know. We're going to be joined by the next few casters in a few seconds, but we got to keep talking. And he says not to repeat what he says, but that's okay. I think just looking at some of the teams that I see in the standings right now, I definitely think Freakshow will be up there, certainly in the top 4 at the end of the cup, and certainly in the end of the group stage. Same with Taylor Swift fan club. Now the question that's going to be, and Soiree of course, the question is going to be if those are the top 3 or the top 3 out of 4, who takes that last spot? Looking at the standings right now, we have Soiree in first place, followed by T Swift fan club, Freakshow, Homer, and Ascension all on 3 points, and Jolson fan club, Goblins, and Power Tools bringing up the best of the rest. So I think what's going to be interesting is that spot for that last little playoff spot, and I think it might be a nice little cheeky battle between Homer and Ascension, which will be very fun to see settle itself. And we have other casters here, by the way. I just wanted to get that point across. We have the man himself, TC Mono, joining us from America, and Apples, who I don't have the pleasure to have ever talked to before in my life.
Wait, you didn't talk to Apples before? Man, this guy's a cracked scout. I can't remember which team I was on with him, but I'm pretty sure I was on one a while back, sometime, somewhere.
Oh yeah, I remember you. Like that's from. I don't remember what season was it, but yeah, I definitely remember playing with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, happy to be here all the way from a NA. Looking at that was kind of a good showing for Freakshow, and I think that's going to be one of the teams we're going to be watching in this upcoming Sunshine match, unless I'm wrong here. Yeah, so
that's correct.
It is gonna be Freak Show versus Taylor Swift fan club. Sunshine. I think we're just gonna be waiting for. Oh, we're going to a break. Never mind.
Okay,
yeah, we're gonna
cool.
We're gonna go to a break. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.